Hello, so what we're going to do in this tutorial is we're going to look at a quick overview of Unity. So I'm using Unity 2019.1 F2. You guys might be using a slightly older version. So the first thing that you're generally greeted with is this kind of tab. Again, it might differ slightly. So you've got projects, you've got learn, which gives you access to different resources, and you've got installs, which will give you the sort of latest version, and you've got different beta releases. Okay, so what we're going to do is, to set this up, let's create a new project. So this is going to be, I'm just going to give this the title, character dev, and then the next option is template. So project name, template. So first up, 3D. Second option would be 2D. So you would pick depending on which type of game environment you want to create. So 3D with extras, high definition RP, lightweight RP, VR lightweight. So lightweight VR would be for mobile devices, lightweight again for sort of less processor heavy type stuff. High def RP would be for sort of fully kitted out kind of PCs. 3D with extras if you wanted post effects, things like that. But what we're going to do, we're just going to run with 3D. Enable Unity Analytics, you can leave that on, but really this is just if you want to publish to the store. I'll turn it off. It makes very little difference. And then create a project, and you'll see that what will happen now is Unity is building our environment for us to start working with. So what you'll do is you'll just wait for this to import all the various assets that we need, and then what it actually does is it's just pulling all these resources together to allow us to create our content or our working environment. So we just have to wait for this to kind of boot up and populate Unity with what we need. So it's pulling different scripts. So if you just give that a minute, it'll do its thing. So what I'm going to do in this tutorial is quickly gloss over the different elements of the Unity UI, and you'll be a little more familiar with Maya. Hopefully, if you've come from Maya, you'll be more used to this kind of UI. So what I want to do is just quickly gloss over what each of these different areas do. So within the hierarchy, this panel just here, if you think of this as the outliner within Maya, if you right click within it, you can create different objects. So you can see here how we're adding these different objects and they're all being listed. So if we let's just create a few different elements here. So just slowly populating our environment. This is just to give you a little bit of an idea as to what we can do. So you can see the more things that we add, the more it's being populated. So try to think of this hierarchy as you've seen hierarchy. It's kind of like the outliner within Maya, so think of it that way. If you click on any of these objects, you can see you've got this view here, the inspector, and this is very similar to how Maya's channel box works. So you've got your inputs, so your transforms here, you've got your different mesh renderers here, different shapes, very similar to how Maya's channel box works. And you've got different inputs here, such as capsule collide, and you can also add different components just here, and you just type them in. Any of the inputs that you wanted to add, you just add them here. Then further down here, you've got the project view, so this gives you a list of your project. And then you've got a more graphical kind of list here of all the different elements. Obviously, it's not populated, but it'll slowly start to be populated by the different elements that you guys add in. And then you've got the scene view, which is everything that you're adding into your Unity scene will all be added within a 3D viewport here. And then you've got the game view. So whenever you, let's say on this capsule, let's just add a rigid body on this. So type in rigid body, it's just going to drop it down, hit play, and you'll see this update in the play. I've kind of grayed this UI out so it holds a bit more focus. Let's just put a bit of rotation on there just so we can see the physics kind of in play. You can see there the physics kind of kicking in. So this is the scene view. It's how you will develop your environment, and this is the play view. When you start to play your game, you'd obviously just hit play to play it, pause if you wanted to pause it, stop it, whatever. And then the next window to make you aware of is the console tab here. Generally this tab here would fire out any errors that are currently present within your scene, so keep an eye out for this. If there's any red or any yellow errors, they would be visible within this, so it's just to make you aware of that. And the next thing that we'll be looking at is the animator tab. So this is where we'll start to develop our mechanism and our motion, so how we can go from idle animations to walking animations to running animations to jumping animations and maybe climbing as well. So this would be done within the animator, this animator tab. The next tab to make you aware of is the asset store. So the whole of Unity is built on the premise of packages that you can bundle up or purchase, put on the asset store. This is the new asset store, by the way. So, but you can go to the old asset store. I'm just going to shop on the old asset store, and you can see there's quite a few things that you can put in. You can type in, let's type in mocap. You can see here we've got a few. It's paid for. You hit the free only tab, and you can see there idle mocap. You can see raw mocap data from Mechanim. Let's just grab that, import, and it's going to download this raw mocap data. And the whole of I'm just going to import all this. The whole of Unity is kind of built on this premise of that you can kind of pull assets in and you can download them from the store. You can also go to assets, import package, and you can pull in custom packages, and it's something that you guys will look at with Playmaker when we start to develop our workflow. And later on Playmaker will be swapped out with Unity's visual scripting. That'll be added later in the year. So it's just to make you aware of the asset store. So you know, you've created content, you've developed your characters. If you've set it up as a biped, you'll then be able to retarget that animation and link it up to motion capture data, as opposed to hand keyed animation. And you could blend the two as well. You could maybe have motion capture animation and then very specific keyframed animation for like special moves, different animations that you can't quite get access to with motion capture. So you can see there it's just pulling in this asset, and then you'll see once this loads in and imports this asset, it's now been added this raw mocap data. We can see this there. This is this asset that it's just pulled in. Okay, so go back to scene. The really nice thing about Unity's UI is everything's dockable, so you can pull all these windows around and dock them. But I kind of like that view. But yeah, it's just so that you're aware of it. It's something, let's say if you've got less screen space to work with, you can pull all these around. You don't always have to have the game view active. You might necessarily want the asset store active. You might want the animator tab active. You know, all fully manipulatable. Yeah, so it's very good, very handy. Okay, so the next video what we're going to look at is make sure I've covered everything. The next video that we're going to look at is pulling in our own custom package. In this case it will be Playmaker, and then we'll be pulling in a character and starting to develop our workflow for creating linking up different animations within Mechanim and making it into a little playable interactive environment. So I'll see you in the next video, but if you have any questions, just leave it in the comments. Bye bye.